What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Castorice and what you should be doing to prepare for her release. As an anniversary character, Castorice is looking to be one of the better and best characters that we have in the game. And since we're about 3 weeks out, it's a perfect time to start preparing for her, farming up her traces, farming up her relics, and preparing her build for when she drops. If you enjoy this type of content, let me know by liking the video, leaving a comment section below, and consider subscribing to the channel. By the time you're watching this video, I'm probably live over at twitch.tv/iSUMMON YT, so I would appreciate if you follow me on Twitch, link in the description below. I've already talked a lot. Let's get right into the video. All right, for her level up and trace upgrade materials, I'm going to leave a link in the description to this website that I use to actually prepare and look at everything involving a new character. Here you have all the Ascension materials. If you go down here, it tells you everything about their kit. We're not going to go over that right now, but down here it tells you what recommended sets, but we are going to go over the recommended sets a little bit more in depth. But down here all the way in the bottom, it tells you the exact summation of everything you need to actually farm when she drops, so you can get her a level 80, max traces, and everything like that. Now we're going to talk about the fun stuff, which is relics and builds, light cones and stuff like that. Light cone, I'm just going to put it out there really quickly. There's only a few options when it comes to her light cone. Let me look up Aglaya because they are remembrance path, so they don't really have a lot of light cones that are released already. So right now we have the battle pass light cone, which is the sweat now cry less, gives you a little bit of crit rate, and when the memo spread is on the field, you increase your damage dealt by the wearer and the memo spread by 24%. This is actually a very good light cone. So if you are a battle pass holder, or if you are going for the battle pass, this is a good light cone to have for Castorice if you don't want to get her S1. Obviously her S1 is going to be her definitive best in slot. If you go to the link that I provided, you will be able to find what her signature light cone does as of right now. When it comes to other options for remembrance light cones, remember guys, this is a new path, so we don't have a lot of options. This 3-star light cone does nothing for Castorice because she doesn't use the traditional energy to do her ultimate. The reminiscence light cone is actually a decent option if you don't want to go for any of the other options. It's a really good option. You get the butt damage bonus by the time your first ultimate ends on the dragon. That's kind of decent, and you should have it at S5 if you have been pulling or you did pull on any of the light cone banners. The free-to-play victory in a blink light cone is actually very, very good as well. It gives you 16% damage bonus and 24% crit damage, which is also very good. Not the best, but very, very strong. Now, Castorice may not seem like a supportive character, but she does have 24% or 20% res pen on her ultimate field, and she also gives the allies 10% damage bonus. So she does have a little bit of supportive capabilities. And if you add this as an extra 16% damage bonus to the allies, so it's a total of 26% damage bonus, and she gets a little bit of speed, which I don't think she really needs, but it's still there. And those are pretty much all the options that you have. Obviously, her signature light cone is going to be the best in slot. And if you were to ask me which one or in what order I would rank them, I would rank the obviously signature light cone first, obviously the sweat now cry less second. I would rank the victory in a blink third, reminiscence fourth, and this supportive light cone I would rank it last in terms of her own personal damage. So if you pulled for Aglaya or you have RMC already built up, you may have one or two of these light cones already built up. So if you're not going for the signature light cone, one of these light cones should work, obviously not at the best of her ability. Now when we talk about relics, I'm going to use my QQ because she is going to be the one holding her relics. As you can see, I don't really have a lot of her relics already done. However, she is the type of character that really just wants 2 sets, and that's pretty much it. You could argue that running the Longevous Disciple is also very good, but I would just stay away from that one. And the reason why is because this will give you more crit rate than just the Longevous Disciple. The Longevous Disciple will get you more HP, but this one will actually give you crit rate, which is also very good, and a 10% damage bonus for quantum damage, which is also very good. But essentially, there's only 2 sets that I would really recommend, and one of them is the new Poet set, which gives you 10% quantum damage bonus, reduces your speed, and it gives you 32 or up to 32% crit rate, which is the equivalent of a crit rate body, which is actually very important. Now, the second set is naturally the old Quantum set, which is the Genius set, and that one gives you up to 20% defense ignore if the enemies are weak to a quantum. Now, if you pair this up with her own light cone, which also has defense ignore, you can have a very hefty amount of defense ignore. I think her light cone gives you like 24 or something, so you can have a very decent amount of defense ignore for the Genius set. So if you are looking for her signature light cone and you have good crit rate stats, substats, and you have a good relic set already for the Genius set from farming Imbibied Lume or Jingli Yu or something like that, then you probably are better off just using this one until you farm the Poet set, because with the Poet set you can get away with doing some nasty stuff because you already have the equivalent of a crit rate chest on the 4-piece set bonus, which means that you can open up the chest to be a crit damage piece or a HP piece. As you can see right now, I don't really have a lot of the poet. Right now, this is the best piece I have currently. I will be working on another one. If I get decent enough crit stats, then I may just toss in this HP chest that I have, but I don't really have a decent crit damage chest except for this one. I definitely need to keep farming these set because eventually, if I don't get anything, I have 3 weeks to do it. If I don't get anything, I'm gonna have to use the old poet set. I mean, the old genius set, which is fine. I mean, I have good pieces. This was a great piece. Crit damage, HP, and crit rate. Insane piece. So I do have pieces to work around, but I really would prefer to run the new poet set. It's just my personal preference. But I think at the end of the day, if the enemy is going to be quantum weak, you are going to be better off with the old quantum set instead of the poet set. Now, as far as planar sets, we can actually go ahead here and there's only one planar set that she really wants, and this is going to be the Bone Collector. There's not really a lot to do here. This set was particularly made for her. It gives you HP and it gives you crit damage. It's probably going to be her best in slot set without even having to calculate anything. Obviously, the same thing with the rope. So the rope and the orb are both going to want to be HP for the reason is that she gives herself a lot of damage bonuses anyway. So you are going to be a little bit saturated on the damage bonus. So HP orb, HP rope are going to be the way to go. The boots can also be HP. Actually, it should be HP as well. And then the chest should be crit damage. Actually, let me just get rid of all this. So if I would have built my Castorice as of this moment, I would probably do something like this. I would just take my genius set because that's what I have. I will try to find some piece that has a little bit of crit rate. I don't really care too much about the crit damage because we are going to go for a crit damage piece right here. Boom. We're going to look for some HP orbs. This is the only thing that I'm going to have to actually farm, and they're going to be HP boots. So I don't have any of those, so I'll just have to farm them. But let me see if I actually have them. I don't. But for here, you want HP boots 100% of the time. So if I were able to have, or if I had HP boots on the genius set, I would probably just do that and use those. So just for the sake of the example, I'm going to toss in these just to represent the main stat of HP. And then here on the orb, I would obviously toss in something like this. And then I would toss in something like this. And then this would be my build for, obviously this would be the genius. It would be the quantum, the old quantum set. So it would be a 4-piece quantum set, and then it would be crit damage or crit rate chest, depending on which set you're using. Remember, if you're using the poet set, you can go for the crit damage chest or the HP, depending on your subset rolls. If you are on the old quantum set, which is the genius set, you're more than likely going to want to run a crit rate because you are going to miss, you're going to want the crit rate to be there. You're going to want the crit rate to be as close to 100% as possible, or as close to 90 as possible, because you're more than likely going to run your Castorice with RMC and or Sunday. So you have to pretty much fine tune your crit rate according to the support you're actually using with your character. Boots are obviously going to be HP, orb is going to be HP on the Bone Collector set, and rope is also going to be HP also on the Bone Collector set, obviously. And that's pretty much everything that I had to cover when it comes to pre-farming for Castorice. Remember, the website that I use to look up the materials is going to be in the link in the description below. You can use that for now. Remember, next week after the live stream, Castorice and Anaxa are going to be added into the in-game builder. So you're going to be able to put them in and then they'll tell you what materials to farm there. But for now, you can use the website. Remember, link in the description below. Also, check me out on twitch.tv/iSUMMON YT. And until next time, guys, see ya.